Can you clear up the rumor? Have you ever had a strawberry before?
My daughter made me eat one.
Yes.
She basically bosses me around, but yes, I swallowed it. I don't even think I took a chew.
Brady, as in New England, showed up each Tuesday morning with a game plan for the following Sunday, as source said. He expected coaches to do the same. Arians, busy with other work, wasn't ready at that early point in a work week to complete a full game plan. It became representative of smallish but significant problems between them. Teddy, I'm going to start with you. You're familiar, you heard of Tom Brady, right? Maybe even know him a little bit. What are your thoughts?
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit. What are your thoughts when you hear this?
Well, that would definitely be something, Max, that Tom isn't used to in terms of coming in to meet with any type of coach, especially a head coach. And, I know it's a report, but if it's true about, the head coach not being prepared, that would catch him off guard. What Tom Brady knows is this: 20 years of Belichick, and Tuesdays were usually, I believe, the quarterback meetings where you're not putting in a full game plan, but you're going over ideas on how to attack certain situations, especially in the Wednesday practice when you're talking about early down situations, base stuff, things like that. So a lot goes into those meetings on Tuesday. I believe sometimes executed on Monday too, sometimes if time permitted. So anyway, he was always ready to be prepared with those Belichick meetings. So if he went into those meetings in Tampa Bay and the head coach was not prepared, that definitely would be something that he wouldn't be used to.
There's been a lot of football highlights over a long career. It's hard to believe I'm still playing. I'll be 45 this year. I just fell in love with this crazy game, and it's hard to stop. And I had some amazing teammates over the years, and Dylan Dreyer is another one. So
yes,
LFG.
You heard it first, everyone.
Certainly leadership is a big focus that as I've grown into over the years, and I think back to high school, it was something that was probably a little more natural for me than, I would say, running a 40-yard dash. I was a captain of my high school football team. I ended up being the captain of my college team. I was a captain of my pro team over all these years. And I think it's just more of a natural thing for me than some other things that have been much more challenging.
Teddy, did you have any experience with Brady and Bill Belichick getting into it over strategy and planning?
Sure. I'm sure they conflicted in ideas on how to attack. That's what those meetings are usually for, in terms of getting on the same page. And that's why Tom would always, quarterbacks in general in those meetings, they would always find it so valuable, because you would get the direction of where the coaching staff would want to go, because Bill would have already had met with coordinators, with whoever the offensive coordinator was, whether Billy O'Brien, whether Josh McDaniels. It would be, this is our idea, this is what we're thinking of, what do you think? And if Tom had come with anything different, that's when actually the coaches would consider if they missed something and if they didn't see something. So there was always a relationship to where, there were ideas being thrown around, and some always got discarded. But by the time, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, even up Saturday night to Sunday came, everybody was on the same page pretty much.
Tom, you mentioned your age. What happened at home that led you to say, you know what, I got to get back out there? I am not built for retirement.
I think personal conversations with people that support me and that really enabled me to go out there and play and do my job. Obviously, I don't have a lot left. This is a game for young people. I just think competitively, I felt like, I got to give it another chance.
Is there a goal you want to reach, or is it really just like your love of the game?
Well, it's mostly love of the game, for sure. Football challenges you in every way. There's a physical preparation. There's, a mental aspect of the game where you're learning and figuring out how to get the best out of yourself and your teammates. And then I would say there's an emotional part where how do I bring my best every day for my teammates? And how do they bring their best every day for me?
As we've talked about before, one of your beliefs, leadership is about caring for people, and being a lifelong learner and, curiosity and all those things I feel like have been really important to my overall success, but certainly going into a new situation last year as it kind of really knocks you in the face. Like, oh, this is where we're at. This is what we got to do, in order to get our team, going in the right direction. So much is about, process and, the plays and doing the right thing. But it's also about caring for one another, having aligned interests and, a goal of obviously winning a Super Bowl, which we had. But, ultimately for me, the quarterback, the great opportunity I have on the field is I actually get to do it. It's not like I'm in necessarily a management position. I get the opportunity to actually go out there and do it with my teammates.
You have reportedly signed a deal to join our ranks. 10-year deal, $375 million to be a Fox Sports broadcaster. To those who would say, Tom Brady might be the greatest of all time on the football field, but he's never worn a microphone as a sports broadcaster. The deal makes no sense. What would you say to those naysayers?
Well, first of all, I look forward to the opportunity to, have a new team trust me in a different way. I know that I'm coming in as kind of a rookie to this, but I know I'm going to work extremely hard like I always do. I still think there's a lot of things that I've learned over my professional career that will carry over to a different career.
Teddy, yes or no answer. But there was never any, you're not, between Brady and Belichick, you're unprepared, was there? There was never any issue about level of preparation, or was there?
No, almost to the point where I remember I used to get irritated in them being over-prepared, where also you make an adjustment on Friday night or Saturday night meetings before the game. It's like they just never stop. So in terms of preparation, that happens all the way up to game time.
It's very rewarding when it all comes together and you win. But more so than the win, I think the joy for the year for me was in the journey. And it was in the meeting a new group of people, and I had an amazing 2-decade career at one place, but then going to a new place and applying a lot of the things I had learned, plus learning a lot of new things from a new group of people, learning there are different ways to do things. When I was in one place, we did it one way. That was it. There was just one way to do things. I go to Tampa last year, and it's a different way, and that's okay. And we were able to achieve and perform at a high level in a different way, which really opened my eyes and was very satisfying of, this is a great way to win as well.
Tom, your workout, your diet regimen, how has that changed now that you're in your mid-40s? I mean, I know that you're drinking about 250 ounces of water every day.
Part of why I think I feel strongly about, health, nutrition, is because it's really allowed me to continue to do what I love to do. Had I not taken care of my body, I would have been a very typical athlete that by the time you reach 30, you're on a sharp decline. And I'm not super strict on my diet. I always try to make that really clear. Most people think I'm some crazy diet,
We do.
Yeah, I know. And I think that's just because that's kind of low-hanging fruit, so to speak. But
so
I try to drink a lot of water.
What's your cheat food?
I like cheeseburgers.
Really?
I like ice cream. I like chocolate cake. I like what everyone else likes.
Skip some added sugar and avoid sugar whenever possible, and especially artificially sweet foods with added sugars. Dad, I'm talking to you.
Let's talk about these ads that you're in for Hertz. I know you're a paid spokesperson for Hertz. I mean, you kind of poke fun at your unretirement.
So you've been working at the same job for 22 years, right? You're just not feeling it anymore. So you retired, and that's when it hits you. Maybe all you needed was a vacation.
How did this all happen, and how much were you involved in the creative process?
Very involved in the creative process. I think a lot of it is just trying to have fun. So the fact that I get to work with them now is really cool.
What happens if I fail? What if others? What will others think if I don't win here? Did you have any of those inner dragons pop up in your head?
No, I didn't. That's a great question, and I think you have this, that, and Larry Fitzgerald and I talked about this one time, what comes with failure and why that really limits people from succeeding, and again, I think there's a naivete about me that, what do you mean failing? I don't even know what you're talking about. You try, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, but it's not failing, and I think if you're thinking about failing, man, what if this doesn't go right? Yeah, it's really hard to be, your true, spontaneous, joyful self. You're trying to, not fail is a lot different than trying to succeed. And you've got to, the best players I've ever seen, when the moment's not too big for them, is they don't care what comes along with failure. They know how to deal with it, or they've dealt with it in the past, or, they understand, okay, this is not that big a deal. Let me just give it all I got. And, that's the way to ultimately go about things, is to not think about what happens if it doesn't go well. I mean, that'll set you back. You don't have much of a chance of success if you do that.
Father's Day is on Sunday. Giselle planning something big, something special?
Yeah, so it's a great weekend. I have a 8th grader graduating, and we're going to go up and be in New York, and we've actually got my whole family coming in. It might feel a little bit like gladiator camp because we'll have every activity known to man and every bit of competition we probably have in the pool or on the basketball court or on the golf course, but it should be cool.
Thank you, Tom. Best of luck this season.
Yeah, good luck.
See you next season as well. No one believes you're going to retire after this season, by the way, so we'll see you next year. And to be clear, he didn't dispel that notion. No, I mean, we could see Tom Brady 3 more seasons.
It's very true. It's interesting because I live in New York.
Yeah.
I've always been a Pats fan for whatever reason,
Yeah.
and now he's in Tampa Bay. But my mom and my brother live in Tampa.
So you're a Tampa Bay fan now?
Well, I'm still like a Tom Brady fan. Even though I do still feel like a scorned lover sometimes, just because he's has success somewhere else. But
yes,
that's the difference.
I enjoyed doing that with you. It was so fun watching Dylan's face during the Tom. I mean, she looked at Tom Brady the whole time. Like
I held it together. I did.
Thank you for watching, and please like and subscribe as I post a new Tom Brady video every day.